How's it going, everyone? Gotta take you guys through your Helldivers 2 updates for the day. A lot of things to note. Thankfully, a fix has been rolled out for one of the most glaring bugs that a lot of you guys have pointed out. A fix has dropped for that, and your issues should be remedied as far as that's concerned. We have a bit of an update on something I said yesterday. It was coming from somebody over at Arrowhead Game Studios. They spoke incorrectly. We have some clarification, so we'll talk about that as well. We got a bit of a note on Helldivers 2 and cheaters. This is something that they're obviously going to have to work on in terms of counteracting that, and a bit of an update on the sales numbers and statistics. I'm a big stats guy, and stuff like that is very interesting to follow. So we'll talk about that at the end of this video. Now, before we get into this video, I just want to ask you guys, please like this video and do leave a comment with your thoughts. It really does help out the channel a lot, and it is much appreciated. But right off the top, do want to note that it was noted by Baskinator, for players who are missing super credits, we have deployed a fix to our backend that should solve the issue. Please restart your game to ensure that it has taken effect. At this point, you should have seen your super credits show back up. This has been an issue that a lot of people surprisingly have pointed out. Like, when I ask about what issues you guys are facing outside of the server woes that have now seemingly is in the rearview mirror, this super credits issue was constantly being brought up as people buying super credits or just earning super credits by playing the game and then disappearing. That would be very startling. I personally haven't spent real world money on the game yet, but a bunch of my friends have, and I imagine what happened is a lot of people spent $20 to get the 2,000 plus super credits, I believe it is. They spent some of it to get the Steeled Veterans War Bond, and then the leftover super credits, they've just been chilling with that in their account, or they just earned the super credits by playing the game. Whatever the deal is, that disappearing on you would obviously be pretty alarming, but it was only a UI issue from what I know. The super credits were always there, but the UI just wasn't displaying it. Again, that has been fixed, and you should be good to go as far as that's concerned. Moving on from that, we talked about it yesterday as far as the defense operation goes. You guys know how it works. You gotta fill up the bar and whatnot, and there are a lot of people that are farming certain mission types, abandoning missions mid-game, and we had heard from somebody at Arrowhead noting the initial statement read, yes, quitting after only half the op counts as a loss for Super Earth. So that started a lot of people. Then we got some clarification from Misty from Arrowhead Game Studios. I can confirm that abandoning an operation does not progress the enemy's percentage, so people who leave operations do not negatively affect the planet. Unfortunately, Evil Boss got it wrong, but we all make mistakes. Just a miscommunication from somebody at Arrowhead. Thankfully, if you guys are abandoning mid-op or whatever the deal is, you know, you guys do you. If you want to keep farming certain mission types and whatnot, keep on doing that, but maybe just see through the operation until the end. I know a lot of you guys don't care about that, but at the very least, you are not negatively impacting everyone else, and I think a lot of people got started by that. Thankfully, that is not the case. Alright, moving on from that, we know with a big multiplayer game like this, at some point Arrowhead was going to have to combat the issue of cheaters. There are a lot of cheaters that are running around on Helldivers 2, and somebody posted something on Reddit that was pretty alarming in terms of they gotta get this remedied ASAP. Now, it looks like what happened, if you guys don't know, progression in Helldivers 2 is pretty fair in the sense that samples must be collected throughout the game and extracted, and they are distributed to all of the players in games. Cheaters are using exploits and can collect dozens or even hundreds of samples in each mission, where samples are shared across the squad. So even if you are playing the game legitimately, even if you are not using any cheats yourself, if somebody goes online and has cheats that enable them to collect all of these samples and whatnot, your experience will be impacted. Now, you can view this as a positive benefit from somebody else cheating, but I think a lot of people embrace the grind in terms of something like Helldivers 2, where you want to play through the game naturally and you want to get the samples naturally by playing the game. I don't think you just want that grind to be eliminated from the game. I think embrace the grind sounds like such a lame term, but like, yeah, you guys embrace the actual aspect of, you know, going through each mission. You don't want that process expedited for you. If that was the case, if you did want the process expedited for you in games, you would have cheats enabled in a lot of games, and single player games as well. But, you know, what can you do? There are other hacks that are out there to get infinite ammo, increase movement speed, or even activate God mode so you gain invulnerability. Obviously, this is going to be something that Arrowhead is constantly going to have to combat. When you talk about a multiplayer game like this, combating cheaters is always going to be a bit of an issue. But in the case of this particular instance, where people are farming samples, that's a big issue because It would be one thing if you get into one mission and a player that you're playing alongside is cheating whatever they have in vulnerability. Okay, maybe that specific game is ruined, but on the other hand, your entire experience might be ruined because samples are shared, and this is a huge issue that they really got to remedy as soon as possible as far as that's concerned, because that's going to impact people's experience even beyond just a single game, and people can find amusement out of that. You could ask, why do people cheat? You know, it's a very, very small minority of people. And even in the instance that was noted on Reddit as far as, you know, the samples being distributed to other players that weren't cheated, Arrowhead Game Studio designer Patrick noted, hey, contact our support through our Arrowhead homepage and they should be able to set your account straight. You can also provide the names for others that were in the game at the same time and we can look into their account history. So obviously Arrowhead is going to look into it and they'll reset your account and get your account sorted, but not everybody is going to realize that they can message Arrowhead support and get their account situated, and that shouldn't even be a barrier that people have to go through. Obviously, it's going to be a very, very small sample of people that are going to be utilizing cheats. It's not going to be in abundance. However, if one person is cheating, this is a case where the samples being distributed across all players is going to quote-unquote negatively impact the experience. It's really how you view it. I personally think it's a negative impact, given that a lot of people are going to naturally want to do everything in the game, and they're not going to want to be given anything, and I can totally understand that. Being given something in a game like Helldivers 2 absolutely sucks, and they should implement something where you can reset your account easily through in-game, or reset your progress. I think that would be beneficial, but we'll see. A lot of that, I'm sure, is in consideration and stuff that they'll ultimately implement down the line. Lastly, I do want to know, this is coming from Matt Piscatella, Executive Director and Video Game Industry Analyst. He noted on Twitter, US combined physical and digital dollar sales of Helldivers 2 during its second week in market more than doubled launch week volume. Inverse decays are rare. This large a week 2 jump, even more so especially outside the holiday window. Great stuff, and he notes his source as well. To put it in layman's term, essentially week 2 sales over here in the United States, combined physical and digital dollar sales of Helldivers 2, it doubled the launch week. Now, to be fair, launch week, it came out on a Thursday, but generally speaking, you sell the majority of copies of a new release within the first 24 to 48 hours. What this means is that this is a game that has really escalated in sales. Now, week 2, obviously, you had the entire 7-day spread, but still, you are getting double in terms of launch week volume from a sales standpoint, and that's an incredible feat for the game to reach. It just shows that the game is really resonating from the player standpoint, and word of mouth is spreading a lot. Outside of the server woes that I do think hampered the sales numbers a little bit, word of mouth for this game has been incredibly strong and really has been the strongest promotional vehicle for this game, especially because this is a game that is so accentuated by your cooperative play. So if one person picks it up, you are then directly incentivized to get your friends to pick it up. I have talked to so many people that have just picked up the game from being told about the game by somebody else, or they themselves told other people about the game and they sold 2 to 3 copies of the game to their friends. I think that has been very effective in a game like Helldivers 2, and it's really a case of a multiplayer game being utilized in the best way possible, where word of mouth trumps anything that this game could have done from a promotional standpoint and marketing standpoint. Not every game is going to get that. Helldivers 2 is incredibly, I don't want to say lucky, I mean they earned it based on it being a high quality game, but you know, there's a lot of high quality games that just don't resonate at that level. Helldivers 2 thankfully did, and I think it's a game that just resonates so much on social media as well. I have my opinions on short form content and whatnot and how people consume social media these days, but given we make content on YouTube, we're one of the proponents of social media, but this is a game that is very much accentuated based on social media platforms, Instagram Reels, TikTok Shorts, or YouTube Shorts and TikToks. You guys get the idea, but game is doing very well. Obviously, sales numbers are going to slow down. I'm sure when Helldivers 2 falls below, you know, 100,000 concurrent players on Steam, people are ready to spell the end and the disaster of the game. Just look at Palworld. People are doing that right now. It's going to slow down at some point, but at some point it's going to pick back up when the content updates roll out as well. But that is going to do it for me. I got a lot of updates to go over. The super credits bug has been fixed, so if you had issues with that, that should be remedied. As far as abandoning ops mid-operation during this defense objective, don't worry about it affecting other players. That won't be the case. What will affect other players is this cheating nonsense, which they got to get figured out as soon as possible. So hopefully they get that done, and the game continues to sell incredibly well, bucking the trend of a lot of other games actually going up in sales week 2 over launch week. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.